MMA boxing talk here. This is a post-fight video for Conor McGregor versus Nate Diaz 2. What a fight that was. You know, one of the best fights in UFC history. I mean, just a classic war. Wow, they really put it all out there. And they left it all out in the octagon. I'm going to talk, this video is going to be 3 different parts. Round by round breakdown, my prediction, and the fans' reaction. So, I scored this one for Conor McGregor. I gave Conor the first, the second, and the fourth round. And I gave Nick Diaz, of course, the third and the fifth round. I thought the third and the fifth round were pretty clear that Diaz won. I thought the first and the fourth round was clear that Conor won. The second round had a bit of controversy, and a lot of people, there was just a lot of confusion with that round because Conor scored two knockdowns in the beginning of that round. And he was looking good. The first 3.5 minutes of that round, he was looking good. It was his round. 3.5 into it, it was Conor. He was winning that round. Nate Diaz really turned it on the last minute and a half, and he wobbled Conor. But Conor, he did more in that round. He did better for longer. Diaz it was a little too late for Nate to win that round. Only coming on strong the last minute and a half. And like I said, Conor getting 2 knockdowns in that round. So he wins that one. He won the first, which was pretty obvious. The second and the fourth. And if you scored it for Diaz, it is what it is. But I thought Conor McGregor did enough to win the fight. He did enough to get the W. But now my prediction video, I predicted. In the video, I said I think it'll go to the decision. I think that's what's going to happen. Even though it's very, very unlikely for Conor, that's how he's got to win it. And then I threw in at the end maybe third round knockout for Conor if I have to be specific. But what my gut really said, and what I first said in the video was a decision for Conor, and he got the decision. But my prediction video is funny because I didn't even once bring up the ground game, and turns out didn't even need to talk about it. The fight went to the ground once with seconds to go in the fight. Only that one time. It was all on the feet the whole fight, and I really stressed in my video it's gonna come down to Conor's gas tank, and if Nate can get Conor to if Nate can sucker Conor into a dogfight and get Conor to throw that game plan out the window, I said it was very important for Nate Diaz to get Conor McGregor off that game plan, and I was right. Conor stuck to the game plan, and credit to him. I didn't know he had it in him. I didn't know Conor McGregor could fight without ego. Be very, very disciplined for 25 minutes straight. I didn't know he could do it because he had never went the distance before. He never fought with much discipline or without ego. Always fighting with ego, always looking for the knockout, trying to impress the fans. This time, he stayed disciplined. He fought without ego, and very, very, very impressed by how Conor McGregor fought this fight. He did the right things, using those low leg kicks, the Jose Aldo type leg kicks, which he never used before. That's another thing. If you have too much ego in there, you're not going to do something that you don't, that's not giving you any success in the past. He's never used it, but he did what he had to do to win, and that's what real champions do. Now let's go to the fan reaction. The fans are like so many McGregor haters or Diaz fanboys. They're just shitting on McGregor right now, saying it was a robbery. Conor was running, all this stuff. First of all, I want to say, for anyone that thinks it's a robbery, are fucking ridiculous because, like I said earlier, the third and the fifth were Nate's rounds. The first and the fourth were Conor's rounds. The second round, Conor, it could have went either way that round, but Conor scored the 2 knockdowns. He did really, really well the first 3.5 minutes. It was, only 90 seconds of that round. Nate Diaz was dominating, and so that's, it is what it is. But a robbery is absolutely fucking insane. You know, if you scored it slightly for Diaz, if you gave him the nod, okay. But to say it's a robbery, and to shit on McGregor and to say he's running, not give him any credit, you know, those are the real salty fucking haters, you know. So you predicted it wrong. Who gives a fuck? Own up to it, you know. So at least admit it. It was one of the best fucking fights. You know, you got people that are saying that are just trying to detract from Conor McGregor. Both those fighters won on that night. I mean, the fans won. The fans won the most because we got a war out of it, and we're also going to get a trilogy out of it. And that trilogy, the build up to that trilogy is going to be insane. And at 155, both guys, they're both natural 155ers. It only makes sense that you know the third fight is at 155. They all should have been there, but it is what it is. Conor, you know, he took the McGregor risk. He went up to 170 when his coach, when Dana White, when everyone was telling him it was the wrong thing to do. And he pulled off the impossible. Conor McGregor pulled off the impossible and won a decision against Nate Diaz. It wasn't easy. It wasn't a landslide decision. You know, it was a very close decision, a majority decision. But he did the impossible. Because I'll tell you, there wasn't too many people thinking that he could go the distance and win a decision. And I personally thought, I threw out a third round knockout, but like I said, my prediction video, the first thing I said was that it was a decision. I think that's the only way Conor can win it. But there was a lot of question marks because he had never done that, and he proved it tonight. And the haters, they're just gonna have to be salty until the trilogy, you know. And in my opinion, totally my opinion, but I think Conor McGregor beats Nate Diaz at 155, and I think he stops him in the later rounds. I really, really believe that. Conor's gonna have about 12, 15 pounds less to carry. His cardio is gonna be better just because of that alone, you know. And anyway, I had to put out a video giving my take. So the people that are that have negative things to say about this fight, you're a fucking hater or you're a Diaz fanboy. Grow up. You have to appreciate MMA. MMA is scored round by round. A lot of people are saying, oh well, total strikes. Well, half of those were fucking slaps by Nate Diaz. He had, or not half, but he had 50 more total strikes than Conor. Half of those were fucking slaps anyway, maybe not, but regardless, Diaz throws a lot of pity-patter punches, and the significant strikes, when you look at the significant strikes, they were almost identical, 166 to 164. So, it's no robbery, it is what it is, but I had to put out a video giving my take. Very impressed with how Conor McGregor fought. It was he evolved as a fighter. He matured as a fighter. He did what he had to do, and like I said, he didn't fight with any ego. Stayed disciplined for 25 full minutes. That was the first time he ever went the distance. First time he ever went 5 rounds. He had been the distance before, but never 5 rounds. Just wanted to put my video out there. Let me know what you guys think. If you like the video, subscribe. Check me out on Twitter at MMA Boxing Talk 1. That's it for this one. Peace.